Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of, I guess this is an unusual unboxing. This might be a lowdown. Let's just call it the lowdown, because let's just face it, I think everything just kind of got rolled into one series at this point. Anyways, my name is NeroTheHero, and as you can see here, I have recently acquired an arcade stick, which I will be unboxing here for you guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get into it, I guess, without further ado. There's not really a lot to talk about as far as the packaging. It is it's your standard kind of retail box. Let's see if I can get this angled up here. One thing I do appreciate about this box is that it actually comes with a little plastic handle type of thing. You know, this isn't, I don't believe this is meant to be like a long-term solution. Like, you know, I would not recommend using this box as a carrying case, but like, you know, in case like you don't use the thing all the time, it's nice to be able to stow it somewhere and also just have that little extra handle at the top. Just, you know, makes things a little bit more convenient. One other thing I wanted to point out was I noticed that this particular tab right here, normally on like retail packaging or anything like that of this sort, you usually see this is kind of sealed with like tape or something like that. This one's just kind of, it's open. It's not sealed by anything. That could just be to preserve the integrity of the box. I'm not too sure, but just something I wanted to notice and point out. Anyways, so we got that open, and this is, I'm gonna have to finesse this a little bit because I have a very janky camera setup right now. I don't actually have a tripod because I moved recently and all my stuff is just kind of here, there, and everywhere, so I'm actually just have my webcam situated on top of my display up here, and it's literally, the display is just angled down, and it's just, it's almost pointing towards the desk entirely because it can tilt that far. But anyways, let's see. So I'm just gonna finesse this a little bit, finesse, because I wanted to just show you guys what it looks like before I take it out. So it was very interesting because one of my concerns was actually the shipping, how this thing was packaged for shipping, right? So it was a little bit of a relief. I actually just popped the box open a little bit before the video and I just looked at everything just to make sure it was all right. But to my relief, it looks like everything was secured in here properly, and it looks like this is pretty standard for this type of product. So can you, it's at a weird angle so you can't tell. I'm doing a thumbs up, so in case anybody is curious about that. So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So there's also this large piece of very densely, well, it's fairly densely packed foam. You can see here that just kind of squeezing that in. Oh, you know what? You might as well. That's what it sounds like when I'm touching it. ASMR. I swear this was not the plan starting out. But anyways, it's fairly densely packed foam, so it definitely protected the device because I kind of tested everything out just to make sure it's fine. You know, it'll be a whole different story when I actually plug it in and try and start getting it working. So yeah, let me actually just finesse this some more so I can actually pull this thing out of the box entirely. Let's hopefully not get, I apologize if my mic is in the shot. That is terribly unprofessional of me. Professionals have standards and whatnot. Alright, so there's that. There you go, baby. And then there's a couple other things in here too. So grab those. Also just more foam, more of that dense foam. It's cut to the size and shape of the device, so I like securing things with like packages and stuff like that. It's nice. It's also just something I used to do. So looks like we have the USB. Looks like a USB adapter of sorts. It is a USB adapter. It looks like it's for a USB-C, if I'm not mistaken, which is the newer type, or the Type C. That's really hard to see because it's so reflective. Let me just take this out of the bag because Again, professionals have standards. Let's pull this out of here. There we go. So as you can see here, there's that one end right there with the, come on, autofocus. Autofocus. Focus. Do your best. I think I need to like pull it back and then kind of slowly, yep. That's what you do with autofocus. Sometimes you got to pull it back and just kind of slowly walk it in. Have like a little bit of a background for it to, there's that, and then there's the other end, the USB-C, I presume. Let's not focus too much on that though. I'm getting too caught up on getting the autofocus to cooperate. You know, I could always just do manual focus, but you know, who's got time for that? Everybody. I have time for that because this is going to bother me otherwise. So here we go. So let's, hey, that's actually a lot better. So that's just your standard USB. And it looks like down here we have a little bit of hardware, as well as they look like rubber feet. So these go on the bottom of the device. So, you know, it's you don't get as much shock when you're hitting the buttons and stuff like that. Also, so it won't slip and slide around. Hey, Butterfingers. So this is an octagonal gate. So by default, this beautiful device here has, let's turn autofocus back on. So it shipped with a square gate. Depending on the manufacturer and depending on the actual arcade machine, you're going to see different shaped gates for the joystick. So this part actually sits in the device underneath the joystick, and that dictates the directions. So this is an octagonal gate, so it's going to be 8 directions. Normally it ships with a square gate, which has 4 directions. So it's basically, has these little notches that the shape naturally, of course, has these little notches where the joystick is going to rest in. So I will most likely switch to this one, but I'm going to use the square one for now just to see how it is, because spoiler alert, I got this thing for beat 'em ups, not necessarily for fighting games, but spoiler alert number 2, I'm definitely going to end up playing some fighting games at some point. So it looks also like some documentation here, just various details and diagrams and things. That's mega small print, so it's probably really hard for you to see, but there's just kind of an idea of what it actually is, just instructions and various things like that. So taking the thing out of the box, it's substantial and as far as the weight goes, which is exactly what I was looking for. I wanted something that had some good weight to it, something that wouldn't shift around a lot. Right now it's on my mouse mat, so it actually feels like, yeah, look at that. So again, with my, please pardon my clumsy autofocus swapping back and forth in camera work, or lack thereof rather. That's because I'm not actually on the slider, bro. There we go. So it already has rubberized pads on the bottom. So it looks like you can add the rubberized feet as an additional thing to kind of lift it off of the desk or the surface a little bit, which is nice. I love options. Options are good. All right, back to autofocus. Flip this back over before I drop it and break the world. So we got this nice little film here. So let's get in a little bit closer and just see what we got. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. Impromptu ASMR. Oh, am I not doing this right? Do I need to... It's stuck. Do I need to just finesse it over this thing? I don't know. Probably not. Or does it... I have a very simple solution for this. Probably not the ideal solution, but you know, just plastic film typically comes on electronics and stuff, so I'm not too worried about that. Did I get it? Or... I have these big paws, and when you have big paws, you have big fingers. And when you have big fingers, it's hard to grab little things, like this little piece of film that is on this last little start / options / menu button. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to keep trying to get it until I get it. I might not actually get it. I'm not... Patience is a virtue. However, necessity is the mother of invention. So very carefully... Hey! My brain is this big, y'all. This big. It's really not, because that's actually bigger than my head. Anyways, so let's look. Let's see, what do we got here? So just got a little bit of a towel here. Let's just wipe off some of this extra material and stuff. So this comes with... Sorry about that. Let's move the mic. So the build design, I was literally about to say build design. The build quality of this feels actually pretty darn good. So this particular device cost just around 80 bucks, I believe, after shipping and everything. So yeah, and the build quality feels good. It feels nice and heavy, so it definitely would be a good device to like sit in your lap if you wanted it to not necessarily go anywhere or shift around a lot. But it's also, like I said, it's good for a desktop, which is what I was looking for. So the joystick here, let's see if we can get in a little closer here. That feels actually pretty nice. I know that these aren't the highest quality parts that this shipped with, because this is the V2 version of the F500, the Mayflash F500. I don't even know if I said the name of the product. Anyways, this is the Mayflash F500 arcade stick, and this particular version doesn't ship with the highest quality of parts, so they're just kind of like, they're fine. The buttons are not of the highest quality. I don't really have a frame of reference as far as the hardware that goes in these things. All I know really is a couple of names of a couple of manufacturers, and one of them's Hayabusa, the other's Sanwa, I believe. I'm just getting into fight sticks, so this is actually my very first one. So please pardon any lack of information on my part. So anyways, so it looks like we have X input and direct input, or also PS3/SNK. So what this is actually compatible, this arcade stick is actually, according to the advertising on the box, is compatible with pretty much every console that's out right now, including the SNK Mini, which is actually a desktop it's a desktop arcade cabinet of sorts, which houses several SNK games. So that's a nice thing. You have the option for Turbo 1, Turbo 2. Imagine you can sort of like program like turbo macros in there if you want to be cheap about things and just have turbos and stuff like that, just throw out punches endlessly. T-pad, I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to consult the documentation, see what that might be. Select back, share, and view, so that functions as that particular button for the controllers in question, whether it be an Xbox, PS4, anything that would have a share button or like a select or a back button, which is basically pretty much any controller, or respectively. And the PlayStation Home key right there, our key, it's a button. So you can't see it from here. I'll try and get the camera a little bit closer, maybe with my phone or something like that. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have the top here, which you can actually take this top piece off, and you can actually put, you can actually put custom glass underneath. So right now you kind of have this sort of broken ground, cracked surface, which is fine for now. I'll leave it in there. I'll probably they do have templates for these things, so I can probably grab something and or make some artwork myself, draw something up, and then print it out, trim it up, put it in there, boom, call it a day. On the top of the device here, we have the USB port. On this side is nothing, and on this side we have, what's this? A curious little door here. Let's open it and see what we have inside. Oh my god, it's a USB cable. Yes, it's a USB cable that you would use to connect it to, well, really whatever. So let's see here. This is tied up with a little wire twisty tie, so let's undo that. Alrighty then, so, ooh, you know what? This is a nice little thing, so I'm gonna try and, so let's do this. So, the way this door has been designed, there's actually a little hole, or a little, not a hole, it's more of like an indentation or a cutout in the corner of the door there, so you can just run your USB cable through, close the door, and you're good to go. I have seen some mods where people have made this entire section detachable, so they can actually pull this out of here, so it would just detach, make it easier for travel or what have you. But yeah, and that's pretty much the entirety of the device. I don't know if I mentioned this before, I think I did, but I originally got this device for beat 'em up games, because I really like beat 'em up games. I've been playing a lot of Streets of Rage 4. Pardon me while I take a drink of water. I live in the desert. I have air conditioning, and I'm also talking a lot, so please pardon me. Yes. So, what was I saying? Beat 'em up games. I originally got this for beat 'em up games like Streets of Rage 4. I also got another game recently called Fight and Rage. I also own a couple other beat 'em ups. There's classic Streets of Rage games, of course, and also the Dungeons and Dragons Capcom arcade beat 'em ups, which are super fun. Probably get into those. Yeah, so I'm gonna hook this up to the old PC here, and of course, as you guys can see, it's red, black and red, so it matches like my setup here. My keyboard down here, it's red. My mouse is red. I like red. No apologies. Anyways, I'm gonna, fire up a game, and I will, I guess that's pretty much the end of this video here. I just wanted to show you guys the device. It's been a while since I've done an unboxing video. I apologize if it was really awkward and not really put together too well, but I did my best. It's just fun to make videos. It's nice to kind of be on the camera, behind the microphone again, just saying things, and hopefully I don't look too awkward with the reflection. I noticed that like halfway through I was talking, I'm like, oh, you can see my reflection. I hope you can't see up my nose or anything. I don't think you can. Even if you can, it's okay. So that's gonna do it for this video, you guys, and I'll make another video once I've had a chance to play with this thing for a bit, test it out, get the old muscle memory working, because I'm not good at fighting games at all. Like, I really got this for beat 'em ups, like I said, because I used to play a lot of beat 'em ups in the arcades when I was a kid, so it was a lot of fun. And I just remember, the feel of the joystick in my hand, and it was nice. So, yeah, that's going to do it for now, you guys. Until the next video, that is, take care of yourselves and each other. Do something heroic today. Game on, and always be in pursuit of something better in life. This is NeroTheHero, signing out. Peace.